Dear students, greetings from Dr. T. Sindil Murugan, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Information Technology, Kakatiya Institute of Technology and Science, Warangal. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss about basic terminologies of data structure. What are the terms we are used in the data structure that we will discuss in this video lecture. So this is week 1, lecture 1, classroom discussion topic 1 for the course data structure through C. The first topic is basic terminologies used in data structure. Before starting our lecture, we will discuss about lecture level outcome of this lecture. After completion of this lecture, student will be able to identify or choose most appropriate data structure for a program. Okay. So normally where the data structure is required for data management, it is required. Okay, data management is very complex task. So if in case you consider the students database, one file have student roll number and name, another file have roll number with marks, another file have biodata of the student, another files have personal details of the students. So how we will collect all the details, how we can organize this data, and how we will give the structure for the data, this all comes under the data structure. Okay, it is a crucial part of data management. What type of data structure we have to choose, that is also difficult, because we must be know what type of data we are using in our projects or real-time data management systems. We must be know what type of data we are maintaining. Okay, so in this regarding, the data structure is group of data elements that are put together under one name. Like file, we are saying no records or files. We will keep, if example, I will keep student roll numbers and name. I will give the file name as student name list. Like that, I will give the common name. No, that is the data structure. Okay, and how it is stored in the computer efficiently of our data, that is also considered the data structure. Data structure means organizing and storing the data in a proper and efficient manner, that is data structure. Okay, data structure almost it is used in all the programs in software systems. Okay, so any software you can use, they must be use some databases, they must be use some data structures also. What type of data structure, what are the classifications of data structure is there, that we will discuss in the next video lecture. In the classification, which data structure is suitable for which data, which type of data, that we will discuss. Even the data structure may be used in following areas: compiler designs, operating systems, statistical analysis packages, DBMS, database management system, numerical analysis, simulation, artificial intelligence, graphics, and many systems are there. No? So these all are related to computer science and information technology. So all the subjects like system software or hardware, wherever we want to manage the data, we need the data structure. Okay. So when we are studying DBMS, that time we will understand that where the data structure and what are the data structure used in global levels, or globally, or focusfully where we are used. For example, you see that wherever we are using network data model, network data model means it's a connection between different systems. Network means connection of more than two systems. How the network is framed and what data structure they are used. If you are thinking like that, graph is the best suitable data structure for network data model. So, for example, I connected a small LAN network. Okay, so it may be connected like this. So, how this is a small LAN network you consider? How it will be work? So, for this, what data structure is recommended means the graph is recommended. Okay, how the graph is working? For example, Google Map is there. Google Map working based on the graphs only. It will connect different cities, and if you want to find the path from one city to another city, it will show the graph. It will show the graph only using Google Map, also using the graphs. And hierarchical data model. Hierarchical data model means you have the common file. We will split the files into different categories. Okay, so it's look like trees only. So that's why whenever we are using hierarchical data model, it will follow the trees data structure. And relational database management system, RDBMS, it is using arrays. It's RDBMS maintaining attributes like data elements, that elements with elements in the DBMS have the relation with all other data. That's why we are saying relational database management system. In that, we are using array data structures. Okay. Then selecting the data structure to solve the problem is following step should be required. What are the steps? First one. First one, we have to analyze the problem to determine the basic operations that must be supported. What are the basic operations of data structure? Insert the data, delete the data, modify the data, or sorting the data, searching the data. So these are the basic operations. And what are the operations we want to perform with the data that we have to finalize? We have to analyze it. Second one, quantify the resource constraints for each operation. Resource constraints also we have to consider as a quantity. How much data is there? If in that particular data, what data structure is necessary? Okay. And finally, select the data structure that best meets these requirements. So finally, after entire database you have, you know that idea about what type of operation performed is there. Accordingly, you can choose the data structure. Okay. So how to choose proper data structure? First, we have three steps again. Okay. So first one is the data and operations that are to be performed on them. Okay. So what are the data we have and what are the operation we want to perform? Data with operations. Okay. So example, you consider the bank. So bank, what are the data structure they are using? Maximum, they will use RDBMS. RDBMS means they will choosing the array concepts. Okay. So in that array, what are the operations are there? Insert the element. Insert the element. That means you will insert the customer details. Delete the elements means deleting the customer details. Okay. Modify the element. When the customer wants to modify the data, then modification will be there. And merging the data. Okay. So in two files, two different data are there with the same person. One is example, I have saving bank account as well as I have loan account. So I want to merge these two accounts under my name. Okay, so for that merge operation, like that we have to decide the operation. Then we have to represent how data should be there. So both will decide means finally we can choose a data structure. So this is the data structure classifications. Okay, so data structure can be classified into primitive data structure and non-primitive data structure. While we are studying programming with problem solving C, we discussed about it like data types. Here, data structure we are classified into primitive and non-primitive data structure. Primitive data structure have integer, float, character, pointer. Directly we can use this predefined one. And non-primitive data structure means it is user-defined data structure. So user-defined data structure like arrays, list, and files. Under the list again, two categories there: linear list and non-linear list. Linear list using stack and queues, and non-linear list using graphs and trees. Okay, so these entire classification we will discuss in the next video. But what are the basic terms we are using in the data structure that we will discuss? Okay. So first one, data. What is data? Data are values or set of values. Okay. So if you are saying something, so examples also here you see that mark of the students is separate data. Name of an employee. My name is there. That is data. Okay. Address of the customer. Address for the bank customer. That is separate data. Value of pi. Pi is the symbol. So what is the value of pi? So this may be the value or it may be the set of values that will be considered as the data. The next one is a data item. What is data item? Data item refers to single unit of values. Okay. So if the entire address is there, example address lo name, street name, village name, district name, state name, country name, then pin numbers like that. These many things are there. No, it is data item means individual data, only name, only street name, only district name, only state name, like something. So we are refer the single unit of values now that is considered the data item. Group item. So group item means it will be divided into sub items. The entire group will be splitted into sub items. So example student mark sheets are there. So what are the sub items are there? First thing, student name, I can separate it. I can group it. It's the student's name. And then student marks for any one of the subject, that is separate group. Another subject marks in separate group. So like that, if we are making it, that is a group item. Elementary item, data item that cannot be divided are called as elementary item. If any item you will take from data item and it's not able to divide into different parts. So for example, name is there. First name, last name, middle name is there. No, that is group of items. But if which data item have no further division, that is considered as the elementary item. Okay. So now attributes and entity. Attributes and entity means it's contain attributes are properties which may assign the value. Entity is that which contains certain attribute or properties which may be assigned the values. So what is attribute? Attributes means if example student, if I'm saying means what are the things related to students? So student means he may be the college student. So college student means name, roll number, marks, personal informations, like that. Many things is there, no? Those are considered as the attributes. Entity set. What is entity set? Entities of similar attributes from an entity set. Okay. So if entity we already discussed, that means we have some attributes. If example address is there. Okay. So similar type of address we will take it means that is entity set. Field. Next one, field. What is field? Field is a single elementary unit of information representing an attribute upon the entity. So we are saying that group set up the entity values. From this, if you are saying only one particular thing, example, I will take roll number. Roll number of the particular student. Okay. Roll number of particular student. That is field. Okay. Record. Record is collection of field values of a given entity. Okay. So what is the entity? Student name. This is entity. Student roll number. This is entity. So if you give the name, okay, ROM, student roll number is B22 IT 00. Okay, so this ROM and roll number is there, no value of this particular attributes, that is considered as the records. Next one, file collection of records. If many student name and student roll numbers are there, means that is considered as a file. And primary key. What is primary key? Each record in a file may consist of multiple data items, but we need the unique data items to represent that. Okay. So example, student name means, so the same name may be for many students. So we unable to fetch the particular student data. For that we need unique data. So why we need unique data? To access the database or files or records. So unique data, what it is in student record, example, student roll number is the unique. It is not duplicated to anybody. The individual number is assigned to individual students. So it is a primary key. So now we are in the end of this video lecture. We discussed about basic terminology used in the data structure. So you just see this question. Match the following. I given three different tasks and I given this right side data structures, which is suitable for which applications. You can discuss. I will give 10 seconds time. You just try to answer for this one. If you are written correct answer, we'll proceed the further. Otherwise, go back and visit this video from first step. Okay. So our time is over. Now, I hope you are written the answer for this question. You just check with your answer. Then if it is correct, then we will proceed further. Otherwise, we'll go back and watch the video again, then answer it. Okay. So network data model. Network, where we are using network means directly we know that it is graph. Okay. Hierarchical data model. Hierarchical means I already told. It will be like header and sub divisions will be there for that. So this is hierarchical. These models may be used in trees. And finally, remaining is RDBMS used arrays. So the answer is for 1C, for 2A, for 3B. Okay. So if you are written correct answer, we'll proceed further. Otherwise, go back and watch the video. Summary. So we discussed what is data structure. Data structure means organizing the data and storing the data in proper manner in computer memory. That is data structure. Applications of data structure, almost all the places of software systems like operating system, database management system, statistical analysis, wherever. So we discussed already. These are the applications of data structure. How to select the data structure? First, three steps we discussed while we are discussing this topic. First one, what type of data we are using? Data set, collection of data. And second one, what data structure support for this? And what are the operation we need? Basic operations we need to perform. Based on that, these two, we can choose the data structure finally and implement the data structure. Classifications of data structure, and there is a primitive data structure and non-primitive data structure. Primitive means predefined data structure and non-primitive means user-defined data structure. In under user-defined data structure, we discussed array, list, and in list also linear, non-linear data structure we discussed. There is array, stack and queues, and graphs and trees are non-linear data structure. In stack and queues are linear data structure we discussed. Okay. So these are the classifications of data structure also we discussed in this video. Then finally we discussed about the basic terminologies of data structures. What is data? What is data items? And group item, entity, attributes. What is attributes? And what is record? What is file? And So these are elementary data items, elementary attributes, those things we are discussed in this video lecture. Now, know that identify the proper data structure for following the data set and also explain how it is suitable. So you know that the data structure, what are the data structure we are used in general and globally, what we are used based on data structure we discussed in this video lecture. We can answer for this question. Okay. So we will discuss in the classroom discussion. Student record. What type of data is required? Example, array. So why we are using array? That you have to write it here. Student names, student attributes are there. We will need to maintain rows and columns. Because of that, I am using student record as array. Okay. So these things we have to remember it. So finally, we have to revisit the outcome. Having completed the discussion on basic terminologies of data structure, now students should be able to identify or choose most appropriate data structure for a program. Okay. So further readings you have to read Rima Zareja textbook, Data Structure Using C, Chapter 2 and 2.1 Basic Terminology Concepts. Okay. So thank you very much for listening this video. If you have any doubt, you come with the doubt after watching the video. We will discuss in the classroom. Thank you very much.